This is a shopping cart, and this is a shopping cart designed by IDEA. Let's have a look at how they made it. But first, we have to understand the design process they follow. To know how to create something new, we start off with defining the problem. This is the beginning of a new design. Then, we move over to identify constraints and current limitations of the design. After we have identified our constraints, we start to brainstorm, where you create multiple ideas for the solution, but only choosing a select few or a single idea. This allows us to prototype the ideas to understand how the final product will work. Now we give it some testing to see how practical it would be for this prototype to be made into a real product. Now that we have tested our product, we iterate it and improve it based on feedback given. This leaves us with the final product. So now that we understand how the design process works, let's see how IDEA made that shopping cart. First off, they start with a meeting.
So welcome to the kickoff of the shopping cart project.
This allows them to talk about the problem and understand how they want to approach it. Then, they identify how they could change the product and the constraints and limitations it currently has, going out into the real world to see what issues there are.
The problem with the plastic cart is the wind catches it. Yeah. And these things have been clocked at 35 across the parking lot.
Oh, man.
That's actually a pretty good point.
The trick is to find these real experts, and so that you can learn much more quickly than you could by just kind of doing it the normal way and trying to learn about it yourself.
From everything I read, these things aren't that safe either, you know? So probably the seat itself is going to have to be redesigned.
One of the interesting things for me is looking at how people really don't like to let go of the cart, except for the professional shopper, whose strategy is to leave the cart at various places.
So once they've completed their real-world experience, they break off into groups to brainstorm a possible product.
That's the hardest thing for people to do, is to restrain themselves from criticizing an idea. So if anybody starts to nail an idea, they get the bell, you know. Oh, the blind, the privacy blind. Like when you're buying 6 cases of condoms, no one sees. If it doesn't nest, we don't have a solution.
Organized chaos. It's not organized. What it is it's focused chaos.
Vote with your Post-it, not with an idea that's cool, but with an...
Once the brainstorm session is complete, a select few are talked about in a meeting and how they could possibly be transformed into a product.
Idea that's cool and buildable. If it's too far out there and it can't be built in a day, then I don't think we should vote on it.
They do this through prototyping. Once they have created a few prototypes, they iterate their design, and the best ideas from the different prototypes they created turn into the final product. That is how the design process works.